I can't wait. We're going to play video games because Syd Bolton's here. Thanks for coming in.
No problem.
Okay.
So today I thought we'd talk a little bit about game collecting. Video game collecting is one of my major hobbies, and it's a hobby that's kind of a new thing, actually. I recently picked up my 1400th PS2 game, which is pretty crazy. And we've got this picture of all these games that I have on the wall.
When do you stop?
I think there's about 1,700 of them.
1,700 different games.
Yeah, for right now, but it's still growing. They're still making them. So I got that major collection of PS2 games, but collecting is really fun. And, you know, it's not just the video games that you might think of. We've also got some really cool older stuff. For example, we have a system here called the Vectrex. And the Vectrex is kind of different. I'm going to actually try to play here.
This is circa what? This
is 82 in that range. And a great 80s thing, which is great because I'm having an 80s party this weekend.
You had a great answer for me because I wonder why all these games always seem to have the same sound, which was kind of like electronic gas.
Well, you know, it's very limited what you could do with some of these games and the sounds that you could make. So a lot of times there's something called a white noise generator. And that's the technical sort of term for it. I'm going to try and hit the center here.
That's what we call my kids.
See, I ended up getting the wall to come back. The white noise generator is all we really had back in the day for making really good sounds. So a lot of times these developers would use that, and I really can't play while I'm trying to talk, but that's okay.
Anyway, on chewing gum.
You try to get the ship in the center without doing what I just did. So. Game collecting, though, it's a great hobby. If you're interested in video games and want to do sort of a different take on it, you should look into it. It can be very inexpensive or very expensive depending on how serious you get about it.
So again, we've mentioned this before. If somebody's sitting there and they got something in the basement, not using, they may even think about cleaning it out and getting rid of it. PC Museum is really somebody they got to be talking to?
Yeah, you know, we take donations of video game systems as well as computers. We're hoping to expand our collection in the future to actually show video game history because we feel video game history is just as important as computer history. And a lot of times the computers and the gaming stuff goes hand in hand. So whether you're, you know, collecting some of the newer stuff like the PS2 or you want to look into this old school stuff like the Vectrex or, you know, the Atari 2600 or, you know, we were talking earlier about the Bally Astrocade.
Right.
That's Bally actually made computers and gaming systems back in the day. They're not just fitness clubs and casinos. There's just all kinds. It's a whole different world, and it's a fun hobby for people that you know, forget collecting stamps, collect video games.
And if somebody wants to come check all this stuff out, museum, let's remind everybody. It's located.
Yeah, it's Personal Computer Museum, 13 Alma Street, pcmuseum.ca. For when we're open Monday evenings, and we take donations every Monday night, and then certain Saturdays we're open. We don't charge admission. We want this place to be accessible to everybody, so you can come out and check out gaming.
There's Syd's wall of collection as we look at the
There it is. So right there, that's 1,400 PS2 games, which, as far as we know, is the largest personal collection in the world.
What happens first?
Right here in Brantford.
What happens
Yay.
worst? You get all the games or you have to move?
You know what? I've already been told by all my friends that they're pre-booked that weekend if I ever decide to move because it's going to be an absolute nightmare. So I think I'll stay put for a few years anyways.
I'm shocked at the fact that 28 years later, this thing is still operating.
You know, and this particular one's actually quite valuable. The Vectrex is great. It's a fun system. It doesn't use a typical TV screen. I don't know if you can notice at home, but the screen is actually done using what's called a vector display. It doesn't use the traditional television screen that you're probably watching the show on right now.
I love the name because it sounds like Wile E. Coyote used it to try and get the Roadrunner sort of thing. That was the Univac, I think it was. And he got it from Acme, but the Vectrex is right
Yeah,
out
this
there,
unfortunately is not made by Acme, although there might be a version of it that is.
Horrible. Okay, well, I guess we have mentioned if somebody's got a PS2 game, and they've got some games, and they want to add to your collection, I guess same thing, just PC Museum.
Yeah, or sydbolton.com. You can get a hold of me personally if you've got something you want to help out. I'm also down to only missing 2 Xbox games, 2 original Xbox games, Animaniacs and KO the Kangaroo Round 2. So if you've got either of those 2 games and their North American releases, get in touch with me. I'll buy them from you.
Super. Okay, well, there you go. Now you can make some money courtesy of Syd Bolton.
There you go.
Well, the Vectrex is going to be playing by itself. So we appreciate you bringing in your guests. Thanks for coming in again.
No problem.
We're going to be back on a Thursday. That means we're going to have our friends from the SBCA are going to be here. Also, Wayne Wilkinson from the Paris Museum and Historical Society will be joining us. And Sharon Brooks, good friend. Kids Can Fly, and we're going to find out what they're up to as we get a little closer to the weekend. So thanks for joining us here at Inside Brant. As always, we do thank you for doing it, Inside Brant.
Go for it.
Oh no, they'll